guys, welcome back to the channel. It is 5:42 in the morning. I'm going to take you through kind of how my day usually runs. So first thing, literally first thing I've got into the habit of doing waking up is journaling. So every morning, first thing, I don't want to do this first thing, but I force myself to do it. Literally write down 3 things that I'm grateful for today as soon as I wake up. That puts me in the right mindset, it puts me in a positive mindset, and it makes me look at the wins and the positives rather than waking up and looking at any sort of negatives, etc. So straight away, put myself on the front foot in a good mood, and it's really helped. And I don't want to do it in the mornings, but I force myself to do it because it's definitely had an impact mentally. Most people, they talk about their morning routines, steer yourself first, etc. For me personally, I jump straight into work. So I've just done half an hour of getting back to some messages. Then I had my apple cider vinegar, my glutamine. Then I got my Digest Max, and I will sip on this now as well. And now I'm into another block of work. I'm going to go through my check-ins now. I will get 5-6 check-ins done. Then I will go on my morning walk. Well, actually this morning, I actually have to take pictures for my own personal check-in with Cuba. So I'll do some check-ins, I'll take that check-in of myself, and then I will go on that morning walk before we get on with the day. So yeah, I don't like fucking about in the morning. I literally crawl out of bed, well not crawl, I jump out of bed, straight in here and straight to work. This is when I operate best. I don't need my time first thing in the morning. I'd rather get up, not waste time, get straight to work, plus I have clients to get back to. So that is how the day starts. We are out in the wilderness. We're on the morning walk, and these morning walks are getting a little bit harder, I tell you, as the body weight comes up. So body weight this morning was mid 122s, which is 270 pounds, which is again a nice little ego rub. But yeah, happy with check-in this morning, happy with videos and pictures. I will show you later on this video. But yeah, morning walk. Like I said, I have a bunch of check-ins boxed off, first block of messages boxed off. Now, on this walk, I like to do more messages. Well, when I say messages, in case anyone doesn't understand kind of what are you doing. So I get messages through from clients, you know, asking questions, let me know how the day went, give me feedback, and I will also get form videos sent over off them as well. So basically, that's what I'm doing on this walk, is usually getting back to some of them, because they're things that I don't necessarily have to be in the office for. I can kind of get back to them where I need, rather than needing to be behind the laptop. So yeah, when I'm in the office, and check-ins before I go on the walk, and then on the walk I will get back to their messages and form analysis. So that's what I mean by doing some messages. But yeah, get back, make meal 1, and we get on with the day. I think that's one misconception people have in regards to coaching. I think people think, oh, it's just a meal plan, it's just a training plan. I know how to eat, I know how to train, I can do that myself. But it's a lot deeper than that. You know, it's that support system. You know, I talk to most of my clients most days, and a lot of them are coaches. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to eat, they know how to train, but for them, having that accountability, someone to answer to, someone to be on their ass if they drop the ball, that support system, someone to turn to with questions, someone to analyse their training, you know, that is the beauty of it. And that's the part that a lot of people don't actually understand. It's more than just a meal plan, more than just a training plan. So yeah, this is actually what my morning walk looks like as well, just to give you a perspective. So in the middle of JVC, we have like little parks. So this is kind of what it looks like around here. And then all the buildings around. Yes, gang, so meal number 1 is being constructed. We are back in the kitchen for the kitchen chat. So I'll put up the check-in video as well from this morning up on the screen so you can take a look at how we are looking. But this is us now sitting at around, when I say us, I mean me, sitting at 270 this morning, which, like I said, is a nice milestone for us to box off in this off season. Still, you know, being in relatively okay condition. Now, the goal isn't just to stay super lean in the off season. Don't get it twisted. You know, body fat is going to have to be accumulated in order for us to gain muscle. But the difference is, okay, I will get a lot of questions off the back of a show. Mark, why do you stay so lean after a show? And usually it's the same people who ask me deep in an off season, Mark, how do you get heavier, gain muscle, but stay so lean? And then it's also matched with the people in a prep. Mark, how are you eating so many calories and not doing any cardio and losing body fat? So everything is interlinked. So we got to realize that by controlling things out the back of a show, it allows you to stay leaner, stay more responsive, and be able to stay leaner when you grow. Then when you get to the start of a prep, you're in a leaner starting position. You don't have as much body fat to come off. So you're able to keep the food higher because you don't have to absolutely bury yourself to try and pull the body fat off. And therefore, you maintain more tissue as well. So bear that in mind. Hopefully that makes some sense. Now, like, as I said before, for me, taking this approach out the back of the show, I've tried every way under the sun. I've blown up fucking 50 pounds. I've taken every approach. And for me, this is the one that's definitely led to the most amount of progress. And it's the one where I see most people progress the most when they take this approach. But what we also have to realize as well is, like, for me personally, another reason why this approach is so beneficial for me is, you know, in my family, high blood pressure is hereditary. It's genetic, okay? So for me, if I am not careful, I will have high blood pressure. So for me, I know if I push up super fast and gain a lot of body weight, I will see blood pressure spike fast. And what happens then? That has a knock-on effect over into blood markers. What happens then? You have to pull back and you can't push on because blood markers are affected. So, you know, we got to realize, like, it's all circumstantial. And, you know, here, if we can keep our blood pressure lower, if we can keep our health markers in a better position by being more patient and not just accumulating all this body fat super fast, it means a more of a prolonged push. It means we're healthier. It means we're more responsive, and it means we grow more. Because a healthy body is a responsive body. So, you know, there's so many things that it goes beyond just, oh, get fat and grow. There's so much to think about, especially, you know, as you kind of get older and start to care about things as well. So, yeah, just some context into things. But again, 100 ways to skin a cat. But for me, and like I said, a lot of people, skinning a cat this way, not staying lean. Like I said, don't get it twisted. The goal isn't to stay super shredded. If you want to grow, you have to push that body weight forward over time. There's going to be some body fat accrued. But doing it patiently, I feel, allows us to get a bit more bang for a buck in terms of the duration of the surplus, and also gives you a better start point for a prep as well. More muscle retention, less eating into muscle, better condition. See how everything interlinks. So control the reverse. Don't have to stay super lean, but just the less you eat like an asshole after a show, the better it's going to be long term for you. You will thank yourself. Guys, meal number 1 has nearly already been devoured. We have the eggs demolished. We have the whey gone. Now we have the cream of rice and the berries left to consume. Get these in the belly. We'll start this next block of work, and then we'll get this coffee down the hatch as we go through the work itself. So, I apologise. I know that it's ruined your day that you haven't seen my eggs, but they're in my belly. Hope you are well. Man, thank you very much for checking. I appreciate it as always, mate. Now, I know I say I hope you're well, but I know you haven't been too well because you have been struck down by the plague again. Now, looking at pictures, I'm quite happy, right? And even though we've been ill, this is not a bad look at all.
And to be fair, it's one of your better looks over these past few weeks, because I know it hasn't affected things from a food perspective, which is amazing. We still got the food down, great. If you are struggling with this, update me and I'll make some adjustments to plan to work around this, because if it means that we have to opt for shakes or smoothies, or just taking down that volume a little bit within their meals to make it a little bit easier to get down, that's exactly what we'll do. So just keep me updated. So think about it. If you are ill, you're trying to train and break down muscle and repair that muscle to see your physique develop and improve, but you're also trying to heal an illness. So if your illness is trying to recover, but then you're trying to have muscle recover as well after breaking it down, your body doesn't know what to be doing. So allow it to recover from the illness, rest up, then get back in and train and break the muscle down. Your sessions are going to be better and you're going to recover faster, and you're not going to compromise the recovery and the recovery of the illness. Let one happen and then we get crack the fuck on. Does that make sense?
Yes, guys, meal number 2. Second block of work, second block of check-ins are complete. So, usually I get all the check-ins done before training, but sometimes people don't always have them over on time. So I usually have a couple left to do after training if they're sent over late, which I'll go back to later on. But that is all the check-ins that came over, sorted. So now we'll crack into this pre-workout meal. I actually just got Kuba's feedback over from check-in as well. So he was quite happy and gave me some pretty good feedback. He's kept me very accountable over these past few weeks. He's adjusted some bits of my posing and adjusted some bits of my training as well. But this is the first week where he's been like, okay, now we are moving. Now things are seeing a nice shift. So he's happy, I'm happy, and yeah, we have a game plan set now for the next few months of this push, and then potentially show-wise next year, depending on where my composition is at, coming into like February time, and where blood markers are at, we may extend the push up another 4 to 6 weeks potentially, and then maybe prep then come April, May, maybe May time for like October, potentially. We'll see. It's all just depending on the progress that's being made and where the body's at, where the bloods are at, and we can go from there. But he's happy. And again, we're going through training setup, because we may trial an upper-lower setup over the next few weeks, depending, like I said, of a couple of exciting bits happening over the next few weeks, which I'll keep it a little bit of a surprise for you and a little bit of a secret, so you can follow along and see what's happening. But yeah, meal number 2, pre-workout meal. Rice, prawns, raisins, pepper, ketchup. We have foie on. Bosh, let's go. Guys, next step, tug day. We're in dungeon. It is actually pretty quiet today, and this is why I love dungeon. It's always pretty quiet, but the people who are here are getting after it. They are here to progress. They mean business. So the perfect environment. It's impossible not to progress in an environment with people who are on the same mission. So I get myself set. I get the logbook out, lifting straps for the pull session, and leave my bag here, and then we will crack into some training. Biceps to start off, little bit of activation work beforehand, lats, upper back, and then we'll get going. But big session. Wrapped up. That was a sweaty one. Now, after every session, 10 minutes of steps. I don't like to eat my post-workout meals straight after the workouts, so I'll always do 10 minutes on the treadmill, decompress after that session, and just have a think, get back to some extras, and then I'll go have post-workouts. So, successful session waxed off. Crazy pump. Things are good. Nothing better than a good session to put you in a good mood. Right guys, post-workout meal. We have the usual, getting the weight pace ready. You will, if somebody wanted to kill me, they could very, very easily do it. They know where to find me at every part of the day. If you want to find me, you'll find me in the same time, in the same gym, every single session. So I like getting here for about 11:30. I say about, no, I like getting here for 11:30. And I will get started and everything. And then I like being finished by about 1:30. I like having my walk done by 1:30, depending on what session it is. And then if it's like a leg session where it's a little bit longer, I'll be finished by 1:30 and then get a little walk done after it, and then have post-workout meal in by 2, and then home by about 2:30, which is perfect. So again, same routine. I love routine. In order for me to control my workload and to be able to operate at my very, very best, I thrive off routine. You know, when I have that routine, I can handle anything. I can be as busy as anything and I can handle it because I'm so structured. Whereas without structure, without that routine, everything crumbles. So routine keeps stress low, it makes you more productive, and it makes you more just on top of your shit. So that's my piece for advice for today, is get your routine locked in. It's got to be different for everybody. You don't have, if you want to go to bed at 1 in the morning and wake up at 10 in the morning, if that's your routine, that's your routine. But I feel whatever your routine is, stick to it, and I guarantee you it will make your life run a lot fucking smoother. Post-workout meal. We have 50 grams of whey made into the paste, and then we have 120 grams of cream of rice, 30 grams of rice, and 150 grams of berries for a post-workout meal. So I'll put that down, I'll go back to some messages, and then I will hit the road. Something that I like to do is any voice notes that come through when I'm training, I like to do them when I'm driving, because I don't have to be on my phone. I can listen to them and I can respond without actually messaging. So absolutely perfect. That's a little tip. Yo, what's the story?
What's happening? All good?
I have to use NABA Force One, NABA PCA muscle contests, Stephen Show, and then
Universe.
I think that'd be spot on.
Yeah, it's 455.
Yeah.
Yes, gang. Next up today, back after the gym, I actually had a call with my client Tom, just running through the game plan for this upcoming prep competitive season, mapping out shows, timeline. So then I got back to some more messages. Then I actually put some fish on because I had to cook some fish. I put that in the air fryer, and we decided for my last block of steps today that I would actually get outside and go for a walk, because I've been a ball boy. I moved to Dubai and I've just been doing my steps on the treadmill. It's a bad habit I'm into. So give out to me in the comments and tell me I'm a selfish cunt who needs to get out in the vitamin D some more. So that is what we are doing right now to get the rest of the steps in. I actually had a conversation with a client on Wednesday in check-in, and one thing we discussed was creating his own environment. And what I mean by that is he was struggling. Nobody around him trains. Nobody wants to progress their physique. Nobody has the same mindset as him, and that self-development and self-improvement mindset. So sometimes he finds himself slipping into their mindset. He finds himself falling off track when it comes to food. He finds motivation dipping off a little bit. And I said to him, let's create your own environment. And what I meant by that is he couldn't, well, you can't change the people around you, but if your family, you're living at home, are not on the same path as you, you're still going to be surrounded by that environment. So I was like, okay mate, I want you to start consuming more of what you want to become. So he starts looking at YouTube videos of people with similar mindsets, chasing what he wants to chase. He started listening to some podcasts, and he starts just feeding his brain and creating his own environments because if he has that going in his brain every day, videos of people training, videos of people speaking with the mindset that he has, videos or podcasts of people with that same mindset, he's gone from being in an environment completely not conducive to his goals to all of a sudden filling his brain with completely different positive things that is conducive to his goals, or are conducive to his goals. It's completely shifted his mindset over the past few days. So he messaged me and he was like, Mark, I can't believe the impact that's had. I've been so much more positive. I've started to get back into the mindset of the person I want to become and the progress I want to make. So if you're in an environment right now where you may not be surrounded by people on the same mission as you, but you may potentially be stuck there at the moment, maybe can't train where you want, and just want to be somewhere else, stop complaining. You're gonna have to fucking make it work for the time being. So create your own environment, feed your brain, consume content that's positive and that supports you and where you want to go, and that will massively help things. So yeah, my little piece of advice. Good deed for the day just done. Good deed. I was walking around the corner and some guy dropped a couple of £100 out of his back pockets, and I picked it up and I gave it back to him and I made his day. So let me know, be honest, if that was you, what would you have done? Would you stood on it and put it in your back pocket, or would you give it back to him? So after that afternoon walk, next thing, I got back in front of the laptop, and then any late check-ins that came over from the morning, I will get back to any of them that came through. I'll go through some admin work. I'll get back to any inquiry responses, and if there's any new startup plans, I will obviously get cracking on them. So that's kind of the afternoon block of work. And then I will have another meal, and then I will get back to any other messages that have come through while I was doing that as well. So that's kind of how the day runs in terms of work. Client check-ins, getting back to client form videos, getting back to client messages and questions, responding to inquiries from new potential clients, setting new clients up. And that is kind of how the day runs day to day. And again, 7 days a week, there are no days off. For me, that's the way I like it. And that's how I've built my business over the past 6 years, fully online. And then on the gym floor for years before that as well. So that is the standard I've set from day one. And that is why I've been able to build the business that I have today. And Mark, what is it that you do? Because there's people watching this that may be like what is he doing? What does he do? So I'm going to break it down very simply. Okay. I help transform people's physiques, but also minds as well. So I help people get to their goals, get to their physical goals, reach the physique that they want. I give them the tools. I lead the way. I give them the supports. I give them their food plans, their training plans, and I guide them along that process, taking them from where they are at to where they want to be. So I work with people wanting to step on stage, people wanting to win bodybuilding shows. I work with people who want to do a photo shoots and document their transformation and their hard work. I also work with people who don't want any of that. People who want to drop 5 kilo to feel confidence. People who want to get healthier and don't even really care about how they look. People who want to get in shape for a holiday, a wedding. So the goal is to take someone from where they are at, build up that relationship with them, and guide them on that journey to where they want to be and the person they want to become physically, but also mentally as well. Because I like to think I have a lot to offer when it comes to mental growth and helping people build stronger mindsets and discipline. This is something that I have a big passion about, big passion for, is mental development, mental strength, and just building mental resilience. And I fully believe anyone can do that with the right amount of push, guidance, knowledge, and accountability to hold them to that as well. Because what holds people back from achieving their goals, sometimes it's not necessarily the knowledge, but it may be the discipline to hold themselves accountable to get to a goal. So hopefully that explains what I do. People who haven't worked with an online coach before question it. And they're like, surely that's not going to work. I need someone one-to-one in person. And some people do. And some people prefer that in person, someone pushing them through a session. But anyone who's been on the fence that I've worked with, who've said, do you know what, I'm going to give this a try and I'm going to see what online is like. Not once has someone turned around to me and said that they got it completely wrong. Anytime I've worked with somebody who was skeptical at the start about having an online coach, realized pretty soon the impact it had. And they realized that going from somebody just solely in person, one-to-one, the level of communication and support that I was able to give them as an online coach far outweighed what the personal training could give them. And that is why I moved online. Because when you are on the gym floor, helping people, training people, the rest of the day, your clients aren't receiving any contacts because you are with that current clients. Whereas when you are working online, the contacts with your clients is very, very fast. And the service you can provide is much, much better. And I think that's the main thing that people who were on the fence soon realize. And then we finish off the day with one more meal and then half an hour of chilling, decompressing, and taking the mind off work and getting it ready for that bed mode. Because having that mind kind of switch off from work between that time and bed, that allows you to kind of get into that deeper sleep. If you work right up until bed, or you're scrolling on your phone, even on social media, for example, and your brain is like overstimulated, that sleep quality is always going to be poorer. So I always try to turn something on that isn't going to be too mentally stimulating, and I can kind of just chill, eat the last meal, breathe, and then hit the hay for another big day again tomorrow. So last meal going in, and we turned something on here called Absentia. No idea what it's even about, but it's a season. I want something that I can watch every evening and I'm like looking forward to turning it on. Maybe it's going to be shit, maybe it's going to be good, I don't know, but there's nothing else at the moment. Whey, almond butter, berries, cream of rice, oats, and then we have this on. And there we go. Guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, let me know. And let me know what else you want to see. While I am here, throughout this off season, you know, whether it be about the boy, bodybuilding, business, let me know. And I will try and meet your requests. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.